Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for a little Hometown Heroes at the Lernerville Speedway. Should be a good one. Not a lot of cars, some more showing up here. We've got 10 here so far. The high side banger gracing us. He hasn't made a lap yet, but it is looking like gonna have 10 cars here for the A&J Custom Creations 305 sprint cars, and experimenting with my sound a little bit. You know, I hate going back and listening to my own voice, but I noticed how loud I am, so kind of try to turn that down a little bit, tweak that. Maybe I may have turned the engines down a little too low. I can mess with that volume a little bit, but let me know how that sounds if you don't mind. If you're out there watching, if I'm too quiet at any point in time, or how it's progressing throughout the night. Now we get another one here. Jeff Barker joins up, so that's going to be 11. We got the Joseph Grandy here, 100 grand in the 518 rolling around. Always looks good at the Lernerville Speedway. It's going to have to keep it on the racetrack. You know, that's the curse for everybody here. Not going to be easy. See some guys step up over. Maybe not tonight or in this first race as much in the 305s. We will see guys venture to the bottom a little bit more. Or Joseph Grandy there going for a fun ride. Let's see who we got on the racetrack here in the other room. We have some guys, though, messing around with the top. There you saw it. See, that's Mr. Wednesday Night there, Brian Moore Sr. Let's see here. I'm going to turn the cars up a little bit there. Try to mess around. Trying to keep myself out of the red, too, here. Bear with me 1 second here. I realized too, sorry, I didn't have the mic software up, so I want to make sure I'm not didn't change all that stuff for nothing here, and I'm just gonna sound loud anyways. Is the checkered flag looks to be waving here on warm-ups. Gonna get ready to go into qualifying. Gonna be pretty important to hit that invert, I would say. Going to be tough to pass here in the early heat races. So while you do want to go out here and get the pole, sorry, I'm getting a message here from some of our guys. Cut the intermission video short. I have a hockey game to get to after the 360 race. Your wish is my command, Patrick. Your wish is my command. It would be my honor to get you in for another race. Let's see who is out on the racetrack here first. Looks like Andy Patton. He's actually coming around here to take the green flag for lap number 1. The 87 going to set the bar. Where is that bar going to be? Rips the top in 3 and 4. Looks pretty good. See what the time says here. 13.85. Joseph Grandy shatters that. Newcomer Chase Matsko looking for a big improvement here in the 26. Smooth on the top through 3 and 4. What can he do? And I just realized, shame on me, I don't have the qualifying bar up. There it is. Shucks. My apologies. But Joseph Grandy there at the top. Dean Reynolds playing the invert game there, nailing it. Looks pretty good. P6. Jeff Barker and Armando Melgoza look to be the dogs right now, unless Randy Shreves here. Here he comes. This will be his final attempt. May have kissed the wall there on the opening lap. Or no, now it gets credited on my screen. He's P3. So he knocks the Barker out of the spot. Shreves not going to get any quicker. Going to stay P3. Good lap for the 56 of Randy Shreves. But Dean Reynolds in the money spot. Going to start on the pole. Heat race number 1. Going to have to see what the 79 can do with it. As we'll see here, qualifying will come to a close. And as soon as it does officially, we'll be able to show you the starting grid here for heat race number 1. And there we go. Rounding out the field, row 3 to the outside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler to the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Row 2 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. To the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner starts on the pole. To the outside, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. And starting on the pole, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds. And of course, some nights, it's going to run smooth with the overlay. Some nights it's going to make me click refresh really quick. Well, we figured out early at least, what the pace of the night is going to be here for me. I'm going to be doing a lot of clicking in between these things, I think. And, my logo may pop up for you guys here soon eventually. If not, enjoy the, little black screen there. Very weird, because on my screen, it's there, but Not like it really matters. As we roll down the backstretch here for the final time, that's 79 and Dean Reynolds set to lead the field here. They roll through 3 and 4. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We got 6 laps to play in the Clay and Sarver PA. Heat race number 1 at the Lernerville Speedway is underway. Dino with a big slide, able to cut up in front of Mr. Wednesday Night. He gets into the back of Dino. They're 3 wide. Joseph Grandy sends it on the bottom. Dino's got to check up, get in line here. Boy, oh boy, big move for Mr. Wednesday Night, doing what he had to do. Sandwiched in the middle, 3 wide, takes the lead. And now Joseph Grandy trying to go back here at your leader is Dean Reynolds, trying to pick up what he's lost. Good move there from Grandy. He's got the lead, but going down the back stretch, Brian Moore Sr. looking to take it through 3 and 4. What's it going to be at the line? Give it to 100 grand, 3 laps to play. Randy Shreves reeling in that 79, trying to make a move for 3rd, but he's running out of time as we roll through 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. This time by is Joseph Grandy, looking to start on the pole for tonight's feature. 100 grand, sends it in. He's right there, smooth up top. White flag waves one more time around for the 518. 100 grand brings it down the backstretch here. We got a battle for 2nd. Dino, he gets it. Shreves close to it. But we got Grandy taking it. He's going to get the pole, followed by Dino, Shreves, Moore, Bixler, and Barker. My apologies for not getting to this camera that you know that I like to use, but I couldn't find it on the fly, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. So my apologies. Hopefully, I'll have that mapped out in my brain where that is here by feature time. That's when it's going to be the most important. Let's take a look at the starting grid here. Heat race number 2. Row 3 to the inside, the Desert Demon in the 161. Terry Landis to the row 2 to the outside, the 87 of the General. Andy Patton to the inside, the high side banger in the 39, Patrick Spangler. Row number 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside, newcomer in the 26, Chase Matsko to the inside, the 531 of Armando Melgoza. Yeah, Clay, it definitely is a little foggy. It's gotten better, though, as you see here in the nighttime. Weather was better, but I imagine that, it still is foggy out there in the back. And with the realistic weather, that'll just, keep the moisture in the racetrack here. We're hoping. Maybe keep it a little racy. We'll see. As we roll down the backstretch for the final time. I see that Steve King Foundation pace car pull off, and Armando Melgoza set to lead us to the green flag as we're underway. 6 laps to play in heat race number 2. Good jump there for Chase on the outside, looking to get the early lead, and he does. Storm in there, and here comes the General looking for a big move. Started 4th. Yes, he did start 4th, already to the lead here midway through 1 and 2, but Matsko fights back on the high side. Chase storming that top as Armando goes around in front of Patrick. Patrick gets slowed down. That allows the Desert Demon to take a peek on the inside, and out front, Andy Patton having a tough time keeping up with the 26 of Chase Matsko, who just ran the fastest lap of the race, 14:07, just beaten by a 14:04 from the high side banger. 2 laps to go this time by, as it looks like Andy, did he cut into the lead there? Yes, he did, a 13:97. Now he has the quickest lap, but does he have enough time? He's only got a lap and a half as he rolls the middle through 3 and 4. White flag in the air one more time around for the General. Can he get to the newcomer in the 26? Chase Matsko does not look like it. Chase Matsko, first time I've called his name. First race he wins here. Heat race number 2 at the Lernerville Speedway. Patton, Spangler, Landis, and Melgoza round out the field. And well, I guess, Patrick was referring to the other one here. I don't think we're cutting warm-up short, but hey, Patrick, if you're listening, you cut warm-up short, I'll start the broadcast. We're going to break. Stick around. Okay, man, I almost had a heart attack when we came back live. I clicked a button that I have never clicked before, and that is why you didn't hear me talk for a little bit, because I could not see the screen, and I am glad it came back. But we are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we're about ready for our 305 A&J Custom Creation Midget Sprint Car feature. Should have 11 cars taking the grid. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup. Rounding out the field, the Brewerton Beast in the 513, Jeff Barker. Row 5 to the outside, the 531 of Armando Melgoza to the inside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Row 4 to the outside, the Desert Demon in the 161, Terry Landis. To the inside, the 055 of Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. Row 3 to the top shelf, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. To the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row 2 to the outside, the general in the 87, Andy Patton. To the inside, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds. Row number 1 for your 305 A&J Custom Creation Midget. I already said 305. Well, I blew that sprint car feature. You can all have a laugh. Newcomer to the outside, the 26 of Chase Matsko. And starting on the pole, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. Anxious to see here. I mean, anybody who watches, you know, Grandy, he's gonna hold his ground. He's gonna do what he has to do here. That's what he's known for. He's gonna make the move, try to hold it. Let's see if the newcomer here, Matsko, can do something. But Grandy choosing the outside here, leader's choice. He drops the hammer. We're underway. Rough start for the 26. But we've got 25 to play. But Patrick Spangler looking to make him pay the toll here to the 39. Coming quick, but Terry Landis not too sure. He may have missed the start there, so they threw a caution. Not too sure. Let's see here. Yeah, because there's no way. So this is the green flag here. I had went back a little too far the last time. Oh yeah, nobody wrecks. So maybe just a caution flag here to get Terry back out on the racetrack. Not too sure if it's going to work. Hopefully he's not a lap down, but we'll see. Bunch of racing still coming up here. Later tonight, we got the 360 sprint cars next, and we got the midget sprint cars after that. Or wingless midgets. Yes, wingless. I don't know. What is the correct term? I was just calling them midgets. Wherever they come. But truthfully, I don't know the correct term. Let's look at the schedule. What is the schedule calling them? Yeah, they're just calling them midgets. I don't know if we throw sprint cars after that or what the official ruling is there. As we get ready to go back racing here, the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Joseph Grandy drops the hammer. We're back underway. And Terry Landis, for now, he's showing a couple laps down. Not sure if it'll change. Hopefully it does. We'll have to only know here in a couple laps and might reset. Yeah, there we go. That early caution. SDK doesn't like those, but I'll tell you what, Dino liked that early caution. Gave him a chance here. He had moved up early. And I guess actually some of those guys, it was kind of a reset there, but with the caution. But Patrick Spangler, he doesn't care. Already back to third. Good move there for the high side banger. Running that slider line. Andy Patton following him around, doing the same thing, the 87. And we see newcomer Chase go up and over. He gets back on the racetrack. No harm, no foul. Just going to lose a bunch of spots. Not what you want to have happen to you early, but the race still on here. Andy Patton trying to outrun the 56 side by side through 3 and 4. What can you do if you're the 87? Andy Patton, man, looking good right now, but gonna maybe need another caution if he wants to run down this top 3, because Patrick Spangler, he just ran the fastest lap of the race, 14:08. He is coming, and Dino gonna have to bite the reins here. He's gonna have to get going as we ride along here with the 39 of Patrick Spangler. You see him just reeling him in here. Oh, all over the back of the 79. And Patrick Spangler, here he comes, looking for a move, trying to slot the corner in the machine here. No room, out of service. Patrick Spangler got to go back to work here. Still plenty of time, 15 laps to go. But Dino, man, that's going to rejuvenate him. He's going to see that 39. He's going to want to get some more speed out of that 79, and he's going to have to find it quick because the 39 making a move here. He almost gets into the 518. Oh, caution flag flies. Hold on, boys. Caution flag waves. Started here with the 87, I think, the General Andy Patton. Let's take a look. He was racing hard with Randy Shreves. See, Randy sends it in. Do we get a slide job? No, Andy just goes around. Mr. Wednesday Night tries to miss it. Oh, and when he does, he tags the wall hard. And you see the mare getting in there. The 513. Oh, my gosh. Hard hit. So let's ride on. This is Jeff Barker. All of a sudden, boom. Good thing the gyro cam's on. Not going to get dizzy. Ends up on his side there, the 513. Tough ride. Not the way he wanted that thing to go, but maybe what the 39 needed. He was right in front of Dino at the line, able to get it P2. With this caution, he can set his sights right on the 518 of Joseph Grandy. We're going to have 12 awesome action-packed laps here at the Lernerville Speedway. Make that 13 as the counter refreshes. Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Joseph Grandy drops the hammer. We're back underway. Tough start there for the high side banger. Having to work that low side, not the restart he would have wanted, and we've got some contact guys going around. Chase Matsko, rough opening night for him. Be able to keep it straight, no caution flag. And Patrick maybe wanted a caution there after a tough start. Gonna have to go to work in this 39. But at the same time, and Patrick, you know, I know you wanted me to speed this up. We're not allowed to start till 7:45, so feel free to go ahead and get a little nasty. You know, maybe bring out a caution or two because we are blowing through this 305 show with the high side banger. Man, I've got the view for us next time by because they are pushing it there through 3 and 4. Let's check it out. Oh, Jeff Barker on the inside. Oh, couldn't tell what happened there to the 513. We had just caught the end of it. Let's see here. Do we get a view from this angle? Yep, he just drives it in, loses the back end. Comes around, and he wanted to get out of the way of the leaders. And that's what you're supposed to do. Just sit still. Let them go on by, and we're back under caution here. Is Joseph Grandy leading the way? Still has been for the majority of the race. Underground not messing around this season here with the wing sprint cars. Been fast everywhere we've gone. And if, you know, the rest of the field doesn't wise up to it here, may have a couple championships on his hands this season. No Blake Chapman here for the 305s tonight. Not sure if where the salesman's at. Maybe up to some nonsense here tonight. Not out on the racetrack. Hopefully he's behaving himself. Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off, and we're going to roll through 3 and 4 with the green flag high, ready to fly. We're back underway. We've got 9 to play. 100 grand drops the hammer. Good restart but better one for the high side. Banger slide job, not able to get up in front. Tried to flex the muscles and make the move here. Get the 56 sweating a little bit. Get the heart racing. 8 laps to go. The 79 tags the wall. Dino able to keep it straight here, but for the time being, really going to have to hunker down because Patrick and the gang are up the road, and Grandy's got 7 laps to go. As Shreves really trying to push the barriers there, runs on the outside as far as he can go in 1 and 2. You see that 56, he is slowly reeling in the 518 and the 39, slowly getting to both of them. So don't go anywhere here with 6 laps to go, 5 to go as we come out of 4. Get the fireworks ready. Randy Shreves to the inside, trying to power down. Can he make the move? Not just yet. 4 to go. This time by as we roll off 4. Shreves in the wall. You had to see it coming. Spangler with the move. Shreves got in the wall. He had to do it. And now they're going to race a little bit. Grandy's got to extend the leash here. He's got to pull away. 3 laps to go. Patrick to P2. Shreves back downstairs, can't get it to stick, and Patrick Spangler, he's got to go, but we're going to have a caution. No, we're not. The race continues. Landis and more contact, Moore and Landis go around, but they straighten it out. Action, we play on. White flag in the air this time by for the 518, Joseph Grandy. He's got a mirror full of the 39, who's getting a big run. Final time into 3 and 4. Joseph goes down and protects. Patrick gets in the grass, and to quote Max Verstappen, quite the expensive lawnmower. But man, he's gonna bring home P2 100 grand, absolutely. Destroys here, leads the majority of the thing, but Patrick made it close there at the end, made him sweat. Randy Shreves 3rd, Dino 4th, and the general rounding out the top 5. But boy, oh boy, good race between the 518 and the 39. Let's see here, we get a chance to talk to our drivers here. Just waiting on Randy Shreves. And there he is. We'll go ahead and pull him up to the booth. Hey, Randy, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Well, hey, man, P3, and it was exciting there up front. You know, if not for you touching the wall there going down the front stretch, you were reeling in Grandy as well. And, man, we were going to have a 3-car battle. If you could go back and do it all over again, man, do we maybe run a little lower coming off of 4? I know you were quick, but you could see how close you were to really pushing the envelope.
Yeah, I think if I didn't get in the wall there, I would have had a little bit of leeway on Patrick. I knew he was behind me, and I can just hear him just right there. And I knew if I messed up one time, he was going to get me. And, he got me with that slider. I had to check up a little bit. I knew I messed up, so I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to, push it. I'll just settle in 3rd and, stay on the podium because it's kind of rare for me to be up there nowadays.
Oh, dude, man, I know that feeling all too well, Randy. That's why I'm up here. But, man, is there a slight part of you, too? I saw you go back at him in 1 and 2, and that's where you kind of mentioned, you're just going to keep it down there. No reason to go up there and force it. Little bit of you hoping maybe Patrick and him go up there and mix it up, and you can sneak by the both of them?
Yeah, I know there on that last lap, I think turn 2 or so, Joseph got off the track a little bit, but he handled it pretty well and kept it on track. But yeah, it slowed him down a little bit. I seen Patrick, right there on his bumper, and I was, the racer in me is like, yeah, I hope they tangle up and I can maybe pull a W. But overall it was a great race. No incidents. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
all I could ask for there.
yeah, and dude, the same group of guys here coming out in the 360s next. I mean, you excited? It should be a good race. I mean, you guys give each other a lot of room. With the way the weather is tonight, a lot of moisture in the track, lots of grip, should be racy, right?
Yeah, it should be, man. And they definitely they got a little bit more power. So I think that helps you stay on the track a little better than these 360s, man. They're just really momentum based, and it's kind of hard to keep that momentum up in these little guys.
Yeah, definitely, man. Putting those go-karts around. But hey, you did it well tonight. Brought home a good P3, man, and it was a fun show to watch. Definitely going to have to go back and rewatch it. But hell of a run, Randy. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, first off, I want to thank everybody at Coast to Coast for putting on this awesome league. Andy Patton over at A&J Customs for sponsoring this, and you for the broadcast, Shaggy. I want to thank KSB Builders, my son Dylan Shreves for painting my car, and everybody for watching.
Well, hey, man, can't wait to talk to you again here. Give him heck in the 360s.
I'll try, man.
That's Randy Shreves, your third place finisher. Now we're going to bring up the man who just fell a little short, Patrick. If not for possibly a rough restart there, not the final one, but the one, you were there in P2. You kind of got caught sleeping on the inside, fell back to third. Man, you think that was what did it in? Because it just took you a while to get back to P2. It seemed like you had the speed, but, man, just ran out of time.
Yeah, I hate the double final restarts and pick, and then everybody wants to win the race on the start, I guess. But yeah, thought I would have had a chance in turn 3 and 4 in the last lap, but he went down to block 2, so I just got out of the gas. Felt like super speedway racing, but you get that sometimes. But yeah, thanks for running the broadcast on Mondays. Roger run the league, or I mean Jeff and Jack run the league. Triangles Racing, and just racing boys for the paint.
You're trying to speed this up, Patrick. We got to wait till 7:45, man.
Oh, gotcha. I forgot about that.
I know, dude. You get him on board. I'll advance it as soon as I see him go to qualifying. Just go get him on board.
All good. It was just that was a frustrating race, but hopefully 360 will be better. You have more speed here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, dude. That'll fit your style. I know, really. I mean, you described it. I'm gonna steal that from you, actually. These 305s, man. It is kind of almost like restrictor plate racing. I mean, one dominant line. I know some guys wanted them back, but be honest with me here. These things aren't your favorite, are they?
No, I just like 2 or 3 tracks and something to race, sprint cars. So I usually don't run them, but if they're at Lernerville, I'll run them.
Well, hey, man, Patrick, you're a guy we'll keep our eye on here. We'll see if the salesman comes in to give you some competition in the 360s.
That sounds good.
Good luck, man.
Thanks.
Patrick Spangler, your P2 finisher. And now we're going to bring up your winner here in the 518, Joseph Grandy. Man, led the way here for the majority of the thing. Got close at the end, but you just had enough to hold on. I saw 1 and 2 on the white flag lap, man. You drive that right rear real close to that edge. Oh, where'd your heart go in that last lap?
Honestly, I'm kind of shocked I held them off to begin with because before I went green, my force feedback left me. So I was turning the wheel back and forth a lot more than I wanted to. But I thought Patrick was going to end up passing me. I thought he was going to throw a slider. I think the lap before he was pretty close to me. But yeah, I felt when I was pretty close to the edge there. Honestly, I thought I was going to fall off, but I let off just enough to not fall off and held out.
Yeah, man, that was so close. And really, up until then, well, even then, you can't count that as a mistake, but you had been so perfect. And, man, that's what it takes in these things, coming out here, winning your heat race. Do you think that was half the battle right there, starting up towards the front?
Oh, these things 100% for sure. Starting on the outside's a little beneficial here. But I try to get as high as I possibly can. But there's a little hiccup there to begin with anyway. But yeah, got to be consistent on these things. You don't want to lose your momentum at all because you'll slow down real quick.
Yeah, man, that's something literally every driver has used that word here, momentum, and big deal. And you were able to keep it up, utilize it on that top shelf, and bring home a checkered flag. Hell of a run, Grandy. Who you want to thank, man?
All the guys over at Coast to Coast Sim Sports, Catalytic Recovery, girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast, and you man for doing the broadcast.
Hey, man.
And AJ Custom Creations.
Oh, yeah, duh. Of course. AMJ Custom Creations, man. Without them, we wouldn't have this broadcast for the 305s. You gonna come run some 360s?
Yeah, I'll be there for the 360s, but not the midgets.
All right, man. Good luck here. We'll be rooting for you.
Thanks.
It's Joseph Grandy there in the 5A team bringing home the checkered flag. And with that, we're going to step away here for a few minutes on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back with your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car feature. We're not running the feature yet. We got heat races to go, Zach. Come on, man. Get it together. We'll be back in a few. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get right when we talked about it.
outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here with your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 sprint cars. And boy, man, I expect another good one here. We got some more cars out here. Let's see. Let's do a little math. 9 plus 4, 13, I think. We got Rick Main, guy who we haven't seen out here Wednesday nights for quite some time. Got that one machine rolling around. 187, but you know, you see that one, it looks so good. I just want to call it the one. I don't think we have a number one anyway, so. You know, well, then again, maybe, you know, it's a team thing there. Him and Andy, the 87, 187. Oh, man, opening up a whole box now. Brad Wade in this one in the 814. Scott Rayome, Randy Shreves coming out on the racetrack for the first time. So it's going to be a pretty damn good race here. Not a bunch of guys, you know, not what we were used to. We're still trying to open up that can, I'm telling you. See if we get those recruitment races coming back in that we used to do, maybe. Some more guys out here. We got the 7 of Bob DeGood coming out as well behind the Brewerton Beast. Let's run around a lap here with the 7 of Bob DeGood. Just trying to get as close to the outside. You know, I know it's awkward to look at, but just stare at that right front tire for me. You know, you want that thing to be as smooth as you can. He does a good job there. A little bit of twitching there, so he straightened up a little too early. Had to give it some more wheel, you know, kind of straighten it out. But there, it's pretty smooth, and that's where you're going to find your speed. You just want to keep it as straight as you can. I know it kind of sounds a little different than maybe want it to be, but oh, the 7 contact with the 513 goes around. I'm going to go in there and park it near the water truck here, maybe get a little drink. There's not a lot of time here. We roll this over at 7:45. I think my screen on my computer literally just went to 7:44, so I imagine the high side banger will throw this over if he can, if he does get the race. Not too sure here. Well, we'll see here. So I'm pulling him up in the moment, and I'm going to ask this question indirectly here, Dino. Is what you shared with me, is that public yet? Can we talk about that at all?
Oh, absolutely. No, matter of fact, I'm going to have to steal Marty's logo and put it on, and we'll get the flyer out, and then Bill Calder will have the links all set up. It should be all up and running tomorrow, but yes, absolutely. Please do.
All right, so you fill me in exactly. What all cars are we running? Obviously, we're running 358s and big blocks. But is that going to be it, or is it going to be like the combo races like we do now?
No, it's going to be just run like the real Super Dirt Week in Oswego. So it's going to be 358s and big blocks. We call it Super Dirt Modified Week because we have a trademark on it. My company does. That's why we got to change the name. But it's run exactly like Super Dirt Week. So all the Coast to Coast members can run. The current members can run. And then anybody outside that's 3,000 I rating or under can join. I'm going to solicit. Last year we had over 50 cars for it. I'm shooting for 60. And, there is some prize money, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. And then all the money raised is going to go to the Honor House, I believe it is, at British Columbia. And I'm actually getting a special wrap done for 358s and big blocks. But, yeah, that's a 3-day show. You do your qualifying and your heats on Tuesday, May 5th. And then, or I think Tuesday, May 6th. I'm sorry, Tuesday, May 6th. Then your consies and your pole shuffles on the 7th. And then we run the features, 75 laps for 358s and 100 laps for big blocks on the 8th. And it's at Oswego, just like the real life one.
Yeah, dude, that is going to be a good one. Now, have we, obviously up in the air, I know feature times can run a little different. Have you set a time yet for Thursday night? Because I found out I start golfing at 4:30, so I should be able to make it home around that 7:30 mark, Dino. That shouldn't be a problem for me.
Yeah, I think it does go live at 7. I believe. I think 6:30 is warm-ups, but I don't know what they're going to do for driver intro, because normally they do a driver intro, so there might be a half-hour driver intro as well. They introduce all the cars one at a time, and then we do a Le Mans on the start-finish line and take a photo. I don't know if they have that planned or not. We'll talk about it. Me, Jeff, and Jack Hitt. We'll talk, see what we got to do. But, I like to have both you and Marty in the booth if we could, because you two guys are the best, and you feed off each other and create a lot of excitement.
Yeah, that's the plan. So I'm hoping Marty will be able to kick that thing off, and then I'll just come in and I'll storm the booth. He won't even know when I show up. I'll keep him on his toes.
Nice deal. Hey, Patrick, I'm talking to Shaggy right now. Important stuff. We're talking about Super Dirt Week. That's why we in advance. Okay, guys, we're going to advance.
Yeah,
so
he wants you. Yeah, he wants to race. Yeah, blame me. I'll send you back home, Dean. Have fun.
All right, man.
Let's see here.
All right, we advance
trying
here,
to
guys.
Send Dino back home. Let's find the Full Throttle Motor Discord. Sorry, Dean.
Down there with Slides Up Scotty.
There he is. There he is. It's not in alphabetical order on the list. I just noticed that. Why is that not in alphabetical order? Most of them are. His isn't. Man, may have to do some Discord maintenance if I have that ability. Putting them in alphabetical order would help me out a lot. But this man, he was ready to go. Let's go play some hockey tonight. He's going to pull a wheelie. He's ready to set the bar. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler, got that 39 out of the barn. Let's see what he's got. Keep an eye on this guy. Keep an eye on the 79 of Dino, and keep an eye on that 187 of Rick Main, and, well, of course, the 518 G's. You got 4 guys, really, that could steal this pole, I think. And it's no shots at the other guys, but I really do. Those are the guys who I personally would keep my eye on. Dino with a purple Sector 1. That's proving my point here. Let's see what he's got, a 13.14. Him and Patrick Spangler all but tied. They're identical laps. Can Patrick pick it up this time around? Patrick Spangler not gonna do it. Oh, I got caught sleeping. 2 guys I didn't mention. The 56 of Randy Shreves, quick time, and Bob DeGood with an absolute banger of a lap P2. And the Desert Demon. Terry Landis. And there's one of the guys I mentioned, the 518 of Joseph Grandy. There we go. Not that I wanted to say I told you so, but boy, I was getting hit with a lot of names that those were impressive laps. Great job, and I'll never sleep on you again. But man, Joseph Grandy making me look like I know something there. But I guess when you mention Really, what does that say? I mentioned 5 names, I think, out of 13. So, oh, geez, he wouldn't look very good on the betting slip, I don't think. I don't think I would have got a return. As Joseph Grandy would have probably been, maybe, if not the top favorite. Or, no, maybe not top favorite if we're being honest, third. I would say if we were being honest, probably Spangler, Maine, and then Grandy if I was to grade them pre-race. But Grandy, man, he's proven me wrong here. Let's see what he's got. Let's take a look here at the starting grid. Heat race number 1. Rounding out the field, Mr. Wednesday Night in the 055, Brian Moore Sr. Row 3 to the outside, the 87 of the General Andy Patton, to the inside, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds. Row 2 to the outside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy, to the inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row number 1 for heat race number 1. Winner starts on the pole. To the outside, the 187 of Rick Main. And starting on the pole, the 814 of Brad Wade. See what we got here this time. Shouldn't be going racing yet. Still haven't given us that shorten the caution laps. Dino giving us a little wheelie there. Going down the backstretch, having some fun in the 79. Is that A&J Custom Creations 814 set to bring the field to the green flag? As we roll through 1 and 2 for the final time at pace speeds. Drivers got to gear up, get ready to go here. Shake off the rust, shake off the dust. As we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 is underway at the Lernerville Speedway. Brad Waite with a good jump here, able to slide right up a Rick Main. Coming with a big run in the 187. Oh, he jumps the cushion. Up and over, up and over. Whoa, Sally. Big wreck there for the 187 of Rick Main, but the battle still on for the lead. Randy Shreves looking low, gets under the 814, who almost jumped the cushion. Contact him to back. Mr. Wednesday Night in the 79. Dino up and over. Wild ride for Dino. Maybe had a little steering issue, but Randy Shreves up front. Started third, leads the way, 3 to go. Can he hold on here? We got the 814 trying to reel him in here, getting up as high as he can. 2 laps to go. You got to think the 56 just playing it safe. Is it too early, though? Right in the middle through 1 and 2. You can see the 814 really reel him in at the end of the backstretch. He's got the speed advantage, but he clips the wall. And with the white flag in the air, you got to think Randy Shreves has got enough. Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves. Randy Shreves brings it home, followed by the 8. Brad Waite, Grandy, Moore, Patton, Main, and Dino. You take a look at your second and final heat race starting grid. For your flatline racing bodies 360 sprints, it looks a little something like this. Row 3 to the outside, the 75 of the mare, Steve Bixler, to the inside, the 444 of Scott Rayone. Row 2 to the outside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, to the inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row number 1 for heat race number 2. Winner starts on the outside of the front row, to the outside, the 39 of the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, to the inside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Still waiting on somebody to grid up here. There we go. Must have got all of them. Here they come. So all the boys pull out on the racetrack here. You got to think that 39, he's got to be the guy to keep your eye on here. Starting on the front row outside, the 39 really doesn't need any help getting to victory lane, but starting on the front row, that is a big help for the 39. Oh, Patrick giving us a wheelie there as I was trying to take a drink of water. Almost made me spit it out. I mean, he is ready. You know, he's saved some of that energy for hockey, Patrick. You know, I mean, it's going to be wild. Let's, you know, we don't do this that often. Let's go to Terry Landis. Outside second row for the green flag as it's high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Let's see the view here from the 161. You can hear him all around the 161 buzzing here, and it gets in his head a little bit. Gets into the mirror, then the 75. He goes around when he got sideways, but new leader wasted no time at all. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler. The Lernerville Speedway, man, this is his bedroom. And he is home once again. 3 laps to go this time by as he comes off of 4 for the 39. Scott Rayom and Terry Landis here having a little battle as we have a little hiccup there on the stream. Everything all good, I believe. But the Desert Demon to the inside, trying to make a run. Can't do it. You just want to be up top. You need that grip to make it work. It's the Brewerton Beast running around a P2 all to his lonesome. White flag in the air. One more trip around for that 39. Patrick Spangler drives it into 3 for the final time through turn 4. Checkered flag waves. Welcome to the front row for the 39. Barker, P2, DeGood, Rayom, Landis, and Bixler round out the field. We're going to take a short break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back with your Flatline Racing Bodies 360 Sprint Car features. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, about ready to go here for your 360 sprint car feature presented by Flatline Racing Bodies. Joseph Grandy, Andy Patton, Randy Shreves, Dean Reynolds, Rick Main, your top 5. After warm-ups, as the checkered flag waves on the session, and we get ready to take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's main event here. You know, I guess not really the main event. I guess we call the last one the midgets. But, you know, this normally, I'm going to be honest with you, better racing. I like the 360. Oh, I like them both. I should say I like watching the 360s more. I prefer driving the midgets more. They're a lot more throttle control dependent. You can kind of set yourself apart from some other guys. But let's take a look at the starting lineup. Rick Main rounds out the field in the lucky number 13 spot. Row 6 to the outside, Steven Bixler, the mayor. To the inside, Dean Reynolds. Row 5, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. To the high side, to the inside, the General, Andy Patton. Row 4 to the outside, Scott Rayome. To the inside, Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. Row 3 to the outside, Bob DeGood. To the inside, $100,000, Joseph Grandy. Row 2 to the high side, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. To the inside, Brad Wade. Row number 1 for your 360 sprint car feature presented to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Starting on the outside, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. And starting on the pole, Randy Shreves. 13 drivers set to take the green flag here in Sarver, PA at the Lernerville Speedway. We're going to head down the backstretch for the final time before we see that Steve King Foundation pace car pull off, and we're going to go up to the starter stand where the green flag is high, and it's ready to fly. We've got 25 laps to play in the clay at the Lernerville Speedway. We're underway. 3 wide behind Mr. Wednesday Night. There was in the middle. Andy Patton on the bottom had to check out of it. Couldn't keep it rolling in that 87, but man, the war raging, and Patrick Spangler to the lead early, but Randy Shreves looking down low, trying to find some grip, but can't get it done. Caution flag waves. Bob DeGood on his side going down the front stretch. Something may have happened in front of him. He may have gotten collected after the fact. Let's see. So Terry Landis, yeah, there was a little something back there, so that was totally different. But Bob kind of bounces off the wall right as Andy's coming up. They make contact. Bob, you can tell it's going to be a vicious hit there in the inside wall. Wild ride, and ends up on the lid here in the 7 of Bob DeGood. Half to toe. Patrick Spangler, though, he says, come on, boys, I got to go. I got a game, got to roll to. I got to get out of here, trying to bring this checkered flag home before I do. Is Patrick Spangler looking good here at the moment? Out front early. Gonna have some dogs coming, though. Keep an eye on that 79 of Dean Reynolds, the 187 of Rick Main. He needs some time to recoup for that rough heat race. As the lights go off on the Steve King Foundation pace car, we're about set to get back underway here, and I have to see if the 39 can hold off the field, or if maybe the 56, the 518, possibly Brad Waite can come up here and play spoiler. So we roll through 3 and 4. Patrick Spangler drops a hammer. We're back underway. Gives us a little bit of a wheelie. Not the restart the 39 would have wanted there. He's going to have to go to work, man. He tries to go up, shut the door, but the 56 comes screaming on the high side, 3 wide, the 814 down low. Patrick slide job, he gets the lead back. Can't look back now if you're the 39. Randy looking for a move in the middle. That makes Grandy have to kind of back out of the throttle there. No room to get in between him and the 814 of Brad Wade. It's Brad looking on the bottom here, trying to hold on to P3. One more caution flag as it waves again. And I believe this one is for the general, Andy Patton. See here what happened to the 87. Oh! So, is that Scott Rayome, possibly? It was. Let's go back. Let's find Scott here. So Terry slides up a little bit, gets into Scott. And nowhere for the 87 to go. Hard hit. And that's going to bring out the second caution of the evening here at the Lernerville Speedway. Lights are still on the Steve King Foundation pace car, so not going to go back green here just yet. Got a little time to think about what we've done, try to behave ourselves, get this thing back and rolling. As the lights do go off this time, drivers will double up here and we'll get set to go back racing at the Lernerville Speedway. Wrong camera. As the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off, we'll see the green flag high and ready to fly. We're going to sit in turn 1 as we're back underway at the Lernerville Speedway. Oh! Brian Moore, you can see the contact there on the bottom, and man, wowzers, we're going to... Actually, let's just rewind it here from here. Got a pretty good view of it. So let's see. You can see Rick maybe getting a run, but that's nothing to do with it. Brian couldn't tell if maybe the wheel disconnected or what. That thing... Okay, that is... That's nuts. No contact. I thought originally he got some help. That thing, it's just like the wheel disconnects or something. It just completely goes up the racetrack. No power there for the 55. But then there he turns it, keeps it straight. Can't tell. Maybe it was his pedals? It doesn't look like he's speeding up or slowing down at all. So it could have been the pedals having a problem with? I don't know. I can't tell. Right back out there on the racetrack. But, man, that's third caution here. Lots of cautions early and for stuff you really wouldn't expect here from the gang. So to see if they can get it together here, straighten it out. Lights are off, but we're going to be single file here the rest of the way. As Patrick gets set to bring us back to the green flag here, Steve King Foundation pace car will pull off. Big gap between him and the 56 of Randy Shreves. Let's go sit in turn 1 again as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Good jump there for the 39 as Patrick Spangler brings us back to racing. Terry Landis with a move there in the back. Oh, Andy Patton going around, and I think we're going to get another caution here. No, he tows that thing away before the caution flag waves, and Patrick Spangler going to be happy with that because he is out front. He is on a tear. Is Rick Main trying to move up? Jeff Barker with a problem there in the 513. He's on the inside. Terry Landis goes over the edge. He disconnects. Man, oh man, this has been a rough race here. The Lernerville Speedway taking no prisoners here tonight. Patrick all alone out front. Battling for third, though, here. If Joseph Grandy could maybe set a run here, try to mount the charge at the 814 of Brad Waite, because behind him, Rick Main just got around the 79 of Dean Reynolds. And Rick going to be driving that 187 towards the front. Not a lot of time to do so. He's going to have to hop on the horse here, get her rolling. Randy all by himself in that 56, just watching the 39 sail off into the moonlight here. And Randy trying to do his best here, stay focused, hold on to P2. The war is behind him, and he just needs this thing to stay green the rest of the way. We got 12 laps to go. Scott Rayome running all alone. Brian Moore Sr. and Jeff Barker battling it out a little bit back here for 8th place. As Brian Moore Sr. trying to duck and run here, pull away as far as he can from the Brewerton Beast and pulling away. Patrick Spangler. Let's go to the finish line. There goes Patrick. Here comes Randy. 3rd, 4th. I mean, he is absolutely gone. And oh, speaking of gone, Grandy up and over in the 518. Joseph Grandy. He drives over the edge. No caution flag. We continue, and it's going to go a lap down there as Patrick comes around. And if you're Grandy, the damage has been done as he's going to pull back up on the racetrack here. Just going to go to pit road here. That's a tough break for the 518. Who was running in 4th, but that moves Rick Main on up to P4, who's got to run now at Brad Waite. Rick Main looking to the inside, running that middle line through 3 and 4. He's got some speed in the 187. Goes to the bottom through 1 and 2, hooks up in the tack, and he's got it, the advantage going into 3, runs Brad up the hill. Brad forced to back out. He's going to lose the spot. Rick Main to P3. Randy Shreves coming to 5 to go as you see Patrick Spangler 3.6 seconds up the road. Randy just wanting the sand to fall out of the hourglass because here comes Rick Main. He is coming with some speed, and before this thing's over, let's take a look here. You can see Rick how close he is. 4 to go. Randy trying to go downstairs here, maybe try something different, finds a good run out of 2, and maybe just what the doctor ordered here to hold on to P2 is Patrick Spangler going down the backstretch. He has got some plans tonight, and that 39 is gone. 2 laps to go. Rick reeling in that 56. He's got 8 sets of corners, or 8 corners here to get it back. What can he do? White flag in the air for the 39. Battle on for P2. Rick Main gonna look low. Randy gonna pinch him down side by side. Patrick Spangler, he's coming to the checkered flag. He brings it home. Let's watch that battle for second. Rick Main gets it done through 3 and 4. Randy Shreves 3rd, Brad Waite 4th, Dino rounds out the top 5, and let's go back look one more time here, give this last lap battle some justice here. I didn't want to, we got to watch Patrick win the race. I mean, come on. Well, let's go back. Let's look here, Randy. I'm going to try to run him down there a little bit on entry. They're side by side. Rick with a good run there. Randy trying to come back with some momentum, but Rick slams the door. And boy, oh boy, heck of a battle there for P2 at the line. But Patrick Spangler, man, all about it, gets it done. Congratulations to the driver of the 39. And, well, Patrick, I didn't see him up here. I was going to say, if he was in the waiting room, I would have pulled him up first to kind of get him going, get him rolling. Let's see here. Nope, Randy beat him up, so we'll go ahead. We'll pull him up. And tell you what, Randy, man, another one where coming down to those final laps, it's looking like you're going to be P2. But, boy, Rick, man, just absolutely steals it there with a couple to go. Or on that final lap, excuse me. How much fun was that coming to the line?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Rick's a tough driver. You know, I definitely wasn't catching Patrick. He was on a rail tonight. But yeah, I kind of just screwed up a little bit there. I was trying new things at the end. I don't know, just I thought I was going to go over the wall a few times, so it was getting pretty sketchy up there. So I tried the bottom, and I think I just lost a lot, and Rick gained a bunch, and yeah, pretty much gave that one away. But yeah, good run to them guys, man. It's always fun to race it out like that.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it there a little bit of how tricky it was tonight. I mean, we saw even Grandy, you know, he loves that top shelf, man. He went over in 1 and 2. What was so difficult about it tonight? I mean, some nights we see some guys kind of run the bottom early on, but tonight we didn't see that. Do you think that added to why the high side was so much more treacherous than it normally is?
It could be that, or I don't know. I think maybe that gear was just too big. I was just spinning the tires and you know, trying to throttle it a little bit. But it seems like if you let off into the corner, it just it doesn't like that. So yeah, I don't know. I just tried to smash the gas, and yeah, you just got to hang on to her, man.
Well, hey, man, you were able to hang on to her again in back-to-back podiums for this 56. I know not the spot you want, man, but still great runs here at the Lernerville Speedway. Not easy to do back-to-back. Congratulations, man. Who do you want to thank?
Definitely want to thank Coast to Coast, you, Shaggy, for the broadcast, Flatline Racing Bodies for sponsoring this thing. You know, everybody here that races me clean. I want to thank KSB Builders for all they do for me. My son Dylan Shreves for painting my car, and everybody for watching.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Randy. Congratulations, man. You going to come out here and run the midgets?
I don't know. I think I'm going to go grab a bite to eat.
All right, Randy. Good luck, man,
Thanks,
the rest
Shaggy.
of the season. You know I'll be rooting for you.
Thanks, brother.
All right, we'll kick him out. I was...
A good race.
Oh, yep. I'm good at doing that, Rick. I'm good at doing that, man. But congratulations on the P2, dude. You were coming there quick. I mean, I'd watched you reel in Brad and Joe, and Joe goes over the edge, makes it easy on you, but you wasted no time getting around Brad. And boy, man, you kind of discovered something there in the middle of 3 and 4. When did you figure that out?
I feel like that line comes in here a lot in the 360s. I at least test it out and see if it's there, and it happened to be there tonight. Nobody was running it, so you know, made it a little easier on me. And it's not as easy to get around 1 and 2 on the bottom like it is in the 410s, but it was fast enough to where I could let those guys run the top in 1 and 2, and there was a little bit down there for me. So
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously, good bit in there in the beginning, but when you needed one at the end, couldn't get a caution. Do you think you had something for that 39 if he wasn't so far out there in front?
I'd have to go look at the lap times to see if we were even something. I mean, if I got a yellow, there was enough grip down there. I could have at least maybe thrown a scary slider at him and at least made him think about it and maybe jump the cushion. But all out speed, I don't know. I'd have to look at the lap times to see if we were even in the same ballpark. I know that car was getting smaller when I was racing those other guys.
Yeah, man, and you know, I mean, when you're trying to get by guys and you're reeling them in, that's all the more impressive. But hey, at the end of the day, only 25 laps. You can only do what you can do, and after that tough heat race, bringing it up to P2, man, up 11 spots. That's a hell of a run for that 187. So congratulations, man. Good job. Who you want to thank, Rick?
Yeah, I'd like to, thank my crew for, getting the backup car out so fast for us since, we threw that slider in 3 and 4 and there just was absolutely nothing there. So shout out to those guys and yeah, my guys over at Inferno. Hinkle Homes. I just partnered with my, buddy at Hinkle Homes who actually sponsors our team. We got a roofing division now. I'm going to help him run that. So anybody in the West Virginia and Western PA area, if you want a roof on your house, let us know. But yeah, those guys make this possible for me to get on here and race every night.
Hey, hell of a run, Rick. Man, glad to have you back. Haven't seen you in a while, but hopefully we can keep you coming, man. You're always a great run. Love having you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I think with this new job, I'm gonna be around a lot more. So sorry for some of those guys. Jeff, I went back and watched that. I thought I maybe murdered you guys, but it didn't look too bad. But sorry, I did get into you a little bit there, Jeff.
Hey, congratulations, Rick. We gonna see you run out here in the midgets at all, or are those not your playground?
You know what? It's not, but I think tonight I'm gonna give it a whirl anyway. So
hey, let's go,
sorry
man.
in advance, boys.
Nah, man, dude, they're fun. I'll tell you what. Well, you know better than anybody else. Throttle control. You'll be just fine, Rick. I'll be rooting you on from up here. Give them hell, man.
Thanks, brother.
And now we'll see if we can find the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. There we go. He's on, doing a little
gotcha.
Gaming here tonight. What's up, Patrick? Dude, you were in a hurry there to bring that thing home. What'd you win by? 5 seconds? Jesus, that's Blake Chapman territory.
Yeah, that's favorite track, favorite car combo, and I threw away a race on Monday night after I got the lead, smacked the wall, so I decided to finish the cycle there and get all 3 spots on the podium this week now. For the second and first tonight.
Obviously, it's one of those things where it's easy for me to say, Patrick, why are you running against the wall? You have a 5-second lead, or no wall even. That's what makes it so risky. But is it one of those things that you've just got a rhythm here and, you don't want to turn it off? It's easier to just stay in that go mindset?
Yeah, once you start trying other things and then start sliding across the track, you can get in trouble. I just probably has the most laps I ever raced on the sim is at this track with 360, so I'm pretty comfortable up there. Sometimes if the cushion comes in weird, I have a tough time staying on the top, but tonight it was felt like a curb up there, so it was pretty easy.
Man, Patrick, I just found something out about you, and I don't know, maybe I'll get back into those NHL games again, because you dive into a little breakdown of me. I used to be a top 100 goalie in a couple of those NHL games. I haven't played it in a couple of years, but man, I loved those things. They're a lot of fun. I'll let you go here, Patrick. Good run, man. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
I want to thank you for the awesome broadcasts each week. Jeff and Jack for running the league. Just Racing Boys for the wrap. And then hopefully, I don't know if you remember Zane Walters, but he's actually playing goalie against me right now. So hopefully we can bury about 5 of them in on him.
Yeah, that's right. And then tell him to sign me up for a contract. I'll only allow 2 or 3. All right. Go get him, Patrick.
Thanks.
And that's going to do it here for the 360 portion of Hometown Heroes. We're going to take a short break here, and we'll be right back with your midget sprint car event here at the Lernerville Speedway, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we're getting ready for your final part here of your flatline racing bodies. Hometown Heroes, excuse me, thought I was going to have a hiccup there. Still may, kind of feels like it, but we've got 25 laps yet to play at the Lernerville Speedway when throw in maybe a heat race or two. Not too sure if... you know, we're gonna... should be one heat race, I would think. But maybe 2 for a piece, but I would think 1 with 8. We'll see. We'll go into qualifying first here. As the checkered flag waves on warm-ups. Keep your eye on the 31 of Brandon Templeton. And obviously the gentleman in the 217 Jack Head. But they're going to be the favorites here for pole, I would think. Brandon's going to roll the outside through 3 and 4. Coming to the start line, carrying a lot of speed. Brandon, lap number 1, goes to the inside. Brandon looking to the bottom once again through 3 and 4. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. You know what that means. Welcome to the top of the charts, Brandon Templeton. 15:03. Joseph Grandy right now, P2. The Desert Demon, where is he at? Hasn't gotten a lap. He's about to come across here. What's it going to show? P3 for the 161. But right now, Brandon Templeton in his own league right now at the Lernerville Speedway. Almost 2/10 up on the rest of the field. Man, have mercy. Brandon Templeton. It's the 31 quick time. Grandy P2. Hit 3rd, Landis 4th, and Barker your top 5. Like I say, I'm not too sure if we'll have 2 heat races or 1. If we just have the 1, then Terry Landis in that money invert spot. So who knows how it's going to goes. But I do know that every driver has put in a qualifying time, so we're just waiting. There we go. I was going to say for that 2-minute timer to run out. Knew it didn't have much time. You see it turns the white up there. So let's take a look here. Starting grid. Only going to be that 1 heat race, so get ready. If you want to go use the bathroom or anything, you got to save it for intermission. It'll be up here next. We're rounding out the field. Row 4 to the outside, the mayor, Steve Bixler to the inside. Bob DeGood. Row 3 to the top shelf. Rick Main to the inside. The Brewerton Beast. Jeff Barker. Row 2 to the outside. B-Temp. Brandon Templeton to the inside. 100 grand. Joseph Grandy. Row number 1 for your one and only heat race. Winner will start on the pole. To the outside, the 217 of the gentleman, Jack Head. And starting on the pole, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Have to see here. Remember, this is one and only heat race here, so this is just to grid your feature, basically. You get an 8-lap test session. Or excuse me, 6 laps here on Wednesday nights. 6-lap test session for the gang. And it is 8:33 Eastern Time. If you hear my dog barking, I have a neighbor in the dark. Now, you know, you do what you want. You do what you want, but they're mowing the lawn. So that's, I did not see that coming. You know, some people just get you by surprise. And maybe I'm the one who's like, why are you surprised? Hey, at least it's getting mowed. As the green flag's high, it's ready to fly. Your one and only heat race is underway. And your flatline racing bodies, midget sprint cars, and Terry Landis trying to hold on, running that bottom through 1 and 2. But the gentleman, you know, he didn't get that nickname for nothing. But the gentleman got to quit playing so nice here. He's going to get some speed out of that 217, ripping it on the outside. Can that Hooters machine climb his way in front of Terry Landis as they fight side by side through 3 and 4? Brandon Templeton, welcome to the party. As P-Temp, look at him shopping downstairs. 3 wide going down the backstretch. Oh, B-Temp. Can he get it at the line? I think so. Oh, boy. They are going hard here at the Lernerville Speedway. You've got 2 of the best racing up front. Really 3. Include Landis in there, and he's close enough still to maybe get an elbow in this thing as Brandon Templeton looking down low here, shopping for that sticky PA real estate. He's found some through 3 and 4. Oh, wheel stand, white flag. One more time to go, but B-Tap, he's got to check the shorts. Final time down the backstretch. Can Brandon send it in, or can the gentleman hold on? Final time through 3 and 4. Jack Hand wins at the line. B-Temp second. Landis, Main, Bixler, DeGood, Barker, and Grandy rounds out the field. Woo! We're going to take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we're going to be back with your Flatline Racing Bodies Midget Sprint Car feature. Stick around. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 10 seconds or so left till we advance and get ready to go. 25 laps at the Lernerville Speedway for your Flatline Racing Bodies Midget Sprint Car feature. I would not be shocked if this thing, I don't want to lay the jinx down because green flag, only 8 drivers and lots of room here in the midgets. So I really, not challenge these guys, but I would be kind of shocked if we have more than 1 or 2 cautions here, but we'll see. As we get ready to take a look at the starting grid, only 8 drivers. Let's take a look. Rounding out the field to the outside of row 4, Joseph Grandy in the 518. To the inside, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 3 to the outside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. To the inside, the mare, Steve Bixler in the 75. Row 2 to the outside, Rick Main lines up in the 187. To the inside, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Row number 1 for your flatline racing bodies midget sprint car feature. To the outside, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. And starting on the pole, the 217 of the gentleman, Jack Hitt. Defending champion, I should add. Jack Hitt there in the 217. Knows how to get it done in these midgets, and right now, you know, maybe getting to know the pace car driver a little bit. It's the Hooters machine hiding camera shy going down the front stretch there, but as we roll down the back stretch for the final time, the Steve King Foundation pace truck will pull off, and we are set to go 25 laps at the Lernerville Speedway as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly, and it's time to go play. Jack Hitt trims the grass down there through 1 and 2, helps him hook up, rotate that race car, and Jack Hitt to the lead early here. Terry Landis shopping on the inside. What can he do? The Desert Demon looking to get that Jeter's machine rolling. Looky. Terry Landis looking good here in that 161. What can Terry Landis do fighting side by side here? Brandon Templeton getting into the picture. This isn't what those guys want here. Brandon Templeton always quick in that 31 machine. And man, them guys racing side by side going to slow him down a little bit. Jack almost jumps the cushion. And now Terry Landis, he's going to have the edge here as we come to the start-finish line. New leader, Terry Landis. Good run there on the bottom through 1 and 2, but look, coming with a big run there out the top. Jack Hitt as Terry Landis leads this one as well. But Jack Hitt, man, not going away, and B-Temp coming in, swinging hammers. Brandon Templeton here as we go on board. Oh, caution flag waves. Caution flag waves. Couldn't tell there if that was possibly Rick Main or Bob DeGood. It may have been Bob DeGood. I'm gonna back on the racetrack here. Let's see. Okay, no, I misunderstood that. Okay, so that's why it looked like he was coming back on the racetrack. Kind of was. So where he had to stop because I guess leader's coming. Or no, actually, it looks like maybe the steering broke because you could see him trying to turn, but it not really turning there. And then has to come to a stop. Cars are coming. That's going to be the caution flag. And I told you, I really didn't expect a lot of cautions. And you saw that there. Single car spin. I mean, that's the way they're going to happen. Here, these guys, these are smaller cars. Got lots of room and different grooves here to make it work. So it's just going to be basically bracing the track. I know it's tough because you got other guys out there with you. It's easy to sit up here and say that, but that is what's going to get you. And got Bob there. It's gotten plenty of people throughout the night. Having no wall here at the Lernerville Speedway can really get you. And speaking of that, why is that not showing up? Oh, because we're under caution, and then I'll come back to Lernerville Speedway as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We're back underway. I was wondering where my title went there, but I forgot how the dang thing works. As Landis looking good, but Templeton looking a little better here on the bottom. Can he get under the Desert Demon? Oh, he's got to woe that thing up. That was close. Terry Landis trying to run his line that he's been running all night, but now Brandon Templeton, he's looking to encroach a little bit. That 31, oh, he bicycles up. He tightens up. Landis has to jump the hill. Jack Hitt is right there like a vampire, trying to suck the wind back out of Landis. Way to capitalize there for the gentleman. Jack hit. As, boy, that was a close one. I think you still give it to Landis at the line, but Jack hit is fighting this thing. And, man, if Landis can't lock it up here, we'll see. Coming to the line, give it to Landis again. And those are important. You know, that's why I'm talking about it. If a caution flag would wave, it is going to matter. And Jack hit, wins the race to the line this time. As Terry Landis feeling the heat from the high side and the low side, is Brandon Templeton right back, sniffing, trying to go to work in that 31. As, man, they are racing their heinies off up front. Terry Landis trying to light one up on the bottom, roll it smooth here. That 161, what can he do? Just can't find the way to get it to fire here. Can't get the grip coming off the corner anymore. And Jack, he is looking good here, carrying the momentum, especially off of 2. Maybe not as much there in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, the gentleman is looking good in that Hooters machine. Right back to it. Look at it. I mean, he could go down and shut the door if he wanted to, but this is where Terry making a little bit of ground, coming back. Now Brandon Templeton, he knows if he wants to go at this lead, he's got to find a way around Terry, so he's going to go upstairs. Hasn't been there all race, really. He's got to try to find a way around. You got to go where Terry isn't. Right now, going to use the inside like Terry. Going to follow him back. Didn't like the high side through 1 and 2, but maybe likes the high side through 3 and 4. And that's what we're seeing here. Carries all that speed. Then he sends it in deep, but now he's got to watch out for just that. Oh, man, I saw it coming. He's carrying way more speed than Terry, so when they shoot for the bottom, he's going to be, you know, driving in a little deeper than the 161, and he's going to have to adjust here. I think he knows that now. Not going to ride the inside when he gets that big run off of 4, unless he knows he can maybe complete the slide job. But Jack hit, holding on, holding strong here, 6 to go. Joseph Grandy running around here in 4th. He is slowly reeling in these leaders in the 518. Just needs them to keep racing here. Needs the battle to heat up, and all of a sudden may become a 4-car battle here with 5 laps to go. Terry Landis trying to go back to work. What can the Desert Demon do? He loses the rear end there, struggles trying to find some grip in that 161, but he got a good run there. The center of 3 and 4 had the lead for a quick second. And with 4 laps to go, the 161 running out of time here. 3 this time by Jack hit. Man, every time Terry gets a little closer, the gentleman, he just pulls away. He just tugs it. He's got an answer for everything Terry has. Everything he's done. 2 laps to go. And these guys, they just haven't stopped. They have been this way for 25 laps. 1 caution sprinkled in. And we're about to get the white flag this time by as the Desert Demon hunting, trying to make it work on the bottom. Jack hit looking good in the middle. Final time down the backstretch. Terry loses grip, and you got to think, that's all he needed, and Jack brings home the checkered flag in a side-by-side finish with the 161 of Terry Landis and Brandon Templeton rounding out the podium. What a race. Here to close out your hometown hero Wednesday night. They don't get any better or closer than that. Phenomenal finish. As I see all the Philly Flyer, what's up? Just saw you out there, Trevor. Hopefully you stuck around to see that good finish, because that did not disappoint. See if we can go back here, find Brandon Templeton. As it would help if I was in the right Discord. Let's go ahead. Let's pull him up here. Driver the 31, Brandon Templeton. Hey, man, looked like you had some speed there, but kind of a clogged racetrack in front of you. You had Terry on the bottom, and you had the leader on the high side. Wasn't much you could do, and then by then, the track started to change, and it just seemed like you couldn't get a run back at Terry.
Yeah, it seemed like those guys were just hitting their marks lap after lap. They had an absolute awesome race going. I was glad to have a good seat in the house there for it. But yeah, it would have been nice to get up there and mix it up a little bit. I had some moments early, but once they got side by side, it was kind of just go where you could. And the middle wasn't quite there for me. There I was trying it late and stuff. But hats off to Jack. That was an awesome win, and Terry was digging the whole race. So that was a lot of fun. That was the race of the year for me.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. And we only had the one caution, self-spin. They're going up over the top. And I kind of talked about it, Brandon. A lot of guys, I know we're kind of known as a sprint car league, man, but these things are fun, dude. And the people that aren't running these are really missing out. I mean, so much room. And you had the best view. You said Terry doing it on the bottom, Jack doing it on the middle high side. I mean, you could go anywhere you wanted in these things tonight, it seemed like.
Yeah, it seems like these cars more than most have, multiple lines at whatever track we go to. They're just small and you can get momentum and do some different things with them. And there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of throttle stomping going on. It seems like some of these tracks you're, full throttle most or almost all the way around the tracks. So it makes a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, if it was half as much fun to race as it was to watch, I'm jealous because it was exciting and you guys put on a great show for that top three. Hell of a run, Brandon. Congratulations on the third. Who you want to thank, man?
I got to thank Meltner Insurance Services. I hit a deer last night. They've been helping me out, so hats off to them. Stream Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, Jay with the Dirt Track Bank. Most of all, probably more than anything, he supports us and keeps us going as a team, so hats off to him. Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian. You, Shaggy, for putting on an awesome stream. It's fun to watch, watch them back, and what you've done grown from when you started out broadcasting to now is amazing. I would expect to see you at a real track somewhere, so hats off for that good job of announcing and everyone helping with the league. Thanks.
Well, hey man, that would be really cool if that would happen someday. But Brandon, I got a serious question for you, okay? Because I kind of live in the country here in Pennsylvania, but out west, you guys have way more deer than we do. Are deer whistles actually a thing? Do you guys use them out west? Do you guys put them on your cars?
When I was growing up in the 80s, absolutely everybody had them. I don't see them hardly ever anymore.
Okay, all right, because obviously, it's the most. Don't take offense to this, because I consider myself a redneck by all means, but the most redneck of redneck kids in high school, would fetch them and throw them on their trucks, and I just haven't really seen them anymore. But I guess they're dying off. But good luck with your car there, Brandon, or truck. Hopefully they get that fixed for you, my man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
That's Brandon Templeton, your third place finisher. And now we're going to bring up the man who finished P2 here in the 161. Oh, Terry, so close, man. You could taste it, but it just seemed like that bottom started to go away towards the end in 1 and 2.
Yeah, it did. I had to really get it down, like hang the front end over the edge if you could to get the rear end in the good dirt there.
Yeah, obviously we're kind of used to this. So Lernerville, it doesn't always wear the same, but how frustrating is it? There at the end, dude. You finished side by side at the line. You could hook that up in 3 and 4. It was so quick on the bottom, but 1 and 2, man, it was just so tough. It seemed like everything you'd get back in 3 and 4, you'd give right back.
Yep. And I couldn't, and Brandon was back there, so I didn't know, to drift up in the middle, and I figured he's riding the bottom pretty good, so I figured, let me just stay down there, and he'll have to hit me if he wants to get by me.
Yeah, that's he almost did the one time. He was kind of comboing up. He was running the top 3 and 4, bottom 1 and 2. He'd run in and kind of slide. But you guys put on a hell of a show, man. You led that thing for a little bit, but Jack snuck you back after the mistake, and just not enough time to get back. But man, race of the year. You guys put on a phenomenal show, dude. You should be proud of that P2. Who you want to thank?
Thanks, Shaggy. You for the compliment. Yeah, that was pretty much fun. That's what Jack said too. It was a pretty good race. Best one of the year. Yeah, Jeter. If if you can get one, go ahead and smoke them. They're pretty good stuff. And who else? Flatline Racing Bodies, because you've been those things in accidents, and they give you brand new stuff. And you got ShaggyTV, because you put on a hell of a show, Shaggy. You really do. C2C, all the admins, Kreitz Old Track Parts, guys back KSR, miss you tonight, Blake, and Gallon's Homegrown Popcorn. Put cart in the checkout and you get 15% off. And my wife, Judy.
Yeah, Terry, I'm so glad I actually I keep forgetting about the kid, man, but you're going to have to rub in his face here. You're the only one who got to talk about the popcorn tonight.
Right.
Well, hey,
I'm an assistant salesman.
Yeah, there you go, man. Well, hey, congratulations, Terry. Can't wait to talk to you again, brother.
All right, Shaggy, thanks.
Terry Landis bringing home P2. And now, in the race of the year so far, Jack, I know we didn't have a big field, but Jesus, man. Haymakers you guys were throwing out there. You stuck to the top. Terry stuck to the bottom. But boy, dude, what a show, man. How we feeling? We tired after that?
I'm ready to go again, man. If we want to try to get some guys in here and run it back.
Oh man, if only they'd want to do it again. You guys, man, I never gonna understand, Jack, where some of these wing guys, don't want to come out here and flirt with these things because let's face it, the 3.6 or the 305s, there was one line in that thing. Got to put those one place. It seems like almost anywhere you go. The 360s, obviously, you can work it a little different, but in the fixed setup, kind of want that high side 9 out of 10 times. And man, every time you guys get out here in these freaking midgets, dude, you can make the bottom work, you can make the top work, and we saw you making the middle work tonight. I mean, is it something that you can just, manipulate this car a little better without the wing on it? What is it you guys like about this so much?
Yeah, I think it's just more about that right foot than it is just being in the right spot. And I think this track and some of the other ones that we run at, run really well for these cars. And good show, right?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you don't want the other caution there. You only the one caution. But I mean, guys like Grandy, you're able to move through the field. He was able to jump up 4 spots. We've seen you do it too. After rough heat races. Is this something like, you're not obviously starting position matters, Jack. That's not what I'm saying, but. Maybe you can work this car around a little bit more if you mess up in the heat races. You're not beating up yourself as much. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously the small field makes it a little easier, but yeah, being a smaller car, I feel like
I've
you have
seen
a
you
lot
do
more
it in the old
control
days of
over
20
it.
car fields. Don't lie to these
Yeah,
people.
I mean,
I've seen
if
you
you
do
get
it.
20 cars out here, I'll
Yeah,
be
you'll
glad
do
to
it.
go to the
He
back.
will do it.
Um, but no, yeah, I mean, personally, I think you can control them a lot better and really put it wherever you want, and still be able to pick up that good momentum out of the corners.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just, especially with how respectful you guys all are to each other, man. The ones that show up here consistently, you give each other that good room, and man, you put on an amazing show. You definitely got to go back and watch this thing. You were on rails up top. You looked awesome tonight, Jack. Congratulations on the big win, and well, you're the defending champion for the reason. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks, man. Got to thank the guys that come out here and race with us. Like you said, everybody gives everybody respect because we're racing with the same guys every week. Been racing with these same guys for years, So anybody out there that's not joining us, you're missing out, man. Come join it. Got to thank you for putting on the broadcast. Got to thank everybody behind the scenes making the show go around, and got to thank my wife for giving me time to do it.
Well, hey, Jack, hell of a run tonight, man. Another one to the list. I gotta get on Marty here. He's got to show me how to work those stats. But man, we gotta be pushing. You think we're at the 100 mark yet for wins here in the midgets for you? You think we're that high? You gotta be close, right?
Oh, that's a big number, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause
but you've been running for how many seasons? You got to think, 5 wins a season for you about on average, and that's being nice.
Oh no, Brandon's out here
Oh.
too much for me to win 5. But I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how far back Marty can go too, though, because I know we've switched systems a couple times. But I'd be interested.
Yeah, next time I talk to him, I'll have to ask him how he does that. I'll have to learn to help him with that. That way I can do some digging too. But hell of a run tonight, Jack. Congratulations on the win, man. And I can't wait to talk to you again.
Thanks, man.
The gentleman bringing home the checkered flag here in the 217, doing it in style, getting around the Desert Demon on the high side. Hell of a run there for Jack Hit, but great night all in all here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And if you're still here, I'd love to thank you for sticking around this long, listening to me blabber on all night here at the Lernerville Speedway. But on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the admins, and, well, all the guys who keep this thing going, Jack, Jeff Barker, Patrick Spangler, we'd like to thank you. Have a good evening.